lose a little bit of weight, increase a little power. Can't beat that. So in this video, I'm going to be doing an unboxing and an install of the Timeusb lithium phosphate batteries. So I'm pretty excited. I've wanted to upgrade from the nickel acid batteries for a while and finally decided to make it happen. So here we are. I'm just going to show the install of one battery, even though I do run a 2 battery system. So I have a 24 volt Minn Kota electric trolling motor, but I run 2 12 volt batteries, and I jump that to a 24 volt system. I'll describe how that works later on, but at first we're going to get this thing out of the box and take a look. So first, looks like got some kind of books on the battery. I'll glance through all that stuff before I actually do the install and charge it and everything. Oh, it looks like posts, it says. Oh, for the cables, it says posts, bolts here. We'll see. There we go. So it said right there, pulse bolts here. And then the caps and bolts were just in there. So we're going to set that stuff off to the side. I'll glance through it shortly. And we're going to take a look at this beast. Sweet. So quite light, which is one of the advantages of these batteries. So right now, I'm currently running 2 nickel acid, I believe 88 amp hour batteries. I'll correct it right here if I'm wrong, but I believe it's 2 88 amp hour batteries. Now with nickel acid, you don't get all that capacity because you can only run them down so far and you start losing power. You get almost all of your amp hours out of a lithium phosphate, which is one of the advantages. Much lighter per amp hour than the runtime, where you can take it from fully charged down almost to depleted, and then you have full power from the top to the bottom, so it doesn't slowly decrease. You just run it until it's dead and shut it off. So pretty cool. This is a 140 amp hour battery. Now this is the biggest battery I could find that would fit in my battery boxes. Kind of, they're tucked in here in front of me. And so I'm really excited that, you know, instead of having like a lot of them are 100 amp hour batteries, which would be still a big improvement and probably at least increase my runtime by double, but going to a 140 amp hour battery, I'm expecting, you know, some pretty great runtime. So we'll read through these books, see if there's anything I need to know, and then we're going to pull out a nickel acid battery and throw this guy in its place. Alright, so I went through this paperwork. So a quick guide: avoid battery near fire, smoke, don't cross the negative positive terminals. It says wear gloves when you're handling them. I'll wear gloves, especially the nickel acid. I mean, it could have residual acid on them, but all mine look clean. And then it talks about temperature, storing it at the appropriate temperature, which is 50 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit ideally. Came with a bunch of stickers. I think I am actually going to use this one, Take Time, and I think it's Take Time USB along. So like Take Time USB along on my boat. And so we'll save this sticker. If I really like the battery, I'll slap this up on the windshield next to some of my other favorites, but a whole bunch of other ones if you want them. More importantly, this installation guide, I actually was very impressed. It's really straightforward, easy to read. It gives everything from dimensions, very basic things like, you know, don't get it by fires and sparks, and don't try to tear it apart or dismantle it. You know, don't expose it to chemicals or cross the circuits like I was saying. And then it goes into like pulling these plugs, and then you use the bolts for the posts. And then it also comes with, I'll show like these caps that go over the posts, which is kind of cool. It also says that in shipping, they ship it at about 50% charge, so you want to fully charge it before you hook it up and use it. And then the most important thing I wanted to cover that actually is really kind of cool is, well, for one, it shows the state of charge. So you're going to have almost full power all the way down through till the very end, like the last, I don't know, it looks like maybe 5% or something that it tapers off. So you're going to just have full power all the way through all your amp hours in your charge, which is one of the big advantages of lithium ion. The thing I thought was cool that it actually shows, like I was talking about, that I have them wired in series, which boosts your voltage. You can wire up to 4 of these, and just every one you add increases your voltage by 12. So I'm going to wire 2 in series. That's going to go to 24. You could wire a third to 36 volts, or you could wire up to 4 and go to 48 volts. Wiring in parallel, which means negative to negative and positive to positive. I'll put some pictures of this in this video, but wiring negative to negative, positive to positive will just increase your amp hours. So 4 of them would be 560 amp hours at 12 volts. But then you're going to keep 140 amp hours wiring them in series, but boost your voltage, which is what I'm doing. So like right now I have 2 88 amp hour batteries, and I don't get, you know, that extra amp hours. I get 24 volts at 88 amp hours. And what you do to wire that is you go positive to negative, so positive on one battery, negative to the other battery. Then you run the negative from one battery up to your trolling motor, and the positive from the other battery to your trolling motor. That jumps it to 24 volts and effectively does what I want to do. So the other thing that it does is it kind of breaks down even in more detail about connecting batteries in series. I've done this before, so it's not new to me, but it's showing how to wire that. It's showing how to wire them in parallels with these bars, which are supposed to make them charge and deplete more evenly. And then it's showing another series system here versus parallel. So just really a ton of different diagrams and methods with pretty good information on how to do that. So if you were using these for, you know, powering an off-grid cabin, anything like that, it actually really does a good job at showing kind of what you do. It talks about different inverter strengths, so a very in-depth book. The only other thing it says that I kind of thought was interesting is if you're going to store it for a very long time, is that you keep it at 50% charge and check the charge every 3 months, and that's the best way to store it. I don't let my boat sit for more than maybe a month in the winter. There's places I can access in the winter, so it's really rare for me to not be using this generally multiple times a week, but at least every month, even in kind of the off season. So I don't think I'm going to have to do that. My plan is to use it and recharge it. Another really good thing I was reading about is that if you only use part of it and recharge, you end up getting more life cycles than if you totally drain it and recharge. So only using part of it and recharge, my understanding is that's not an issue, which is what I will likely do. So pretty cool. One other thing I'm going to do really quick is I want to see how much it weighs. Now I know the amp hours are far more, it's not double, but almost double what my nickel acid is. So I'm not expecting, I mean, maybe it'll be lighter, but maybe it'll be equal weight or similar, but I'm getting way more battery. So, but we're going to see how much it weighs. And then once I pull the nickel acid, I'm going to weigh that as well. So I just grabbed my house scale, or bathroom scale, you could say. Very light, 28.2. I am actually sure that those nickel acids are going to be far heavier. So that's, yeah, 28.2 pounds. I'll weigh it again to double check if it's not accurate. I'll let you know. But yeah, now I'm going to start the install. All right, so I'm going to quickly pull out my nickel acid batteries. Hopefully you can kind of see it down in there. But real quick, I just wanted to show you. So the way I have it wired in series, this positive cable runs underneath here and connects to my negative cable on this battery. And then this negative cable runs up to my electric motor, and then the positive over here runs up to my electric motor, hence jumping it to the 24 volt, as I said before. Then I have wired into both of these batteries just a charging cord. I have 2 chargers, they're identical, and they're both lithium ion compatible, so I'll be able to use them just like I have in the past. But they have a fuse built in, lithium ion, and from what I've read, they're going to work great for what I need. So now I'll hurry and get this sucker out of here. Alright, so real quick I wanted to talk about how I decided on Timeusb.
So first off, I was looking at price point. I wanted a battery that was affordable. Second, I wanted high quality. I watched many YouTube videos and read many reviews on these batteries, and one in particular, a gentleman that has reviewed dozens of lithium batteries, tore it apart, looked at the components, said it was very high quality, and he actually did a drawdown test, and it tested beyond 140 amp hours of use with a single charge. Very impressive.
Okay, I'm gonna series 88 amp hour interstate nickel acid battery, 52 pounds. So I'm going from, I believe it was 28 to 52, and I did weigh it again. I think it was 28.2, and this was 51.8. So I am almost reducing my weight by half, and I'm almost increasing my amp hours. I mean, not quite, but almost by double. So significant weight reduction. If I went to 100 amp hour, I'm sure it'd be, you know, just that much lighter. But I want more battery, I want more power, so I went with the absolute biggest battery that I could squeeze in this hole. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that up a little bit. I'm going to unwire off this battery because I don't want them connected together at all, and then I'm going to get this other battery in. All right. So negative terminal, positive terminal. Open up my little post baggie here. Okay, so pretty straightforward. You just put your wires, oh jeez, put your wires through here, and then pretty simply you're going to screw it in. It is really important to have these all tight because loose connections, it can spark and arc and create heat. So pretty straightforward. And then these, as I keep dropping, once it's tightened in, you can cover that up so that, you know, it's less likely to get bumped or rubbed on. So yeah, pretty straightforward. The positive and negative are kind of on the same side as the old one. Positive was on this, you know, left side when you're facing it, negative on that far side. Now this battery is going to be really tight fitting. I basically got it just as snug as it could be, so we'll see. Hopefully it fits. And I have to say, after picking up that one, I went and picked up this lithium battery, and I about yanked my shoulder out when I picked it up because it was so much lighter. Okay, fit like a glove. That was, you know, I had a little bit of play in that box in the bottom. Now I don't have play, and I'm just going to wire it up. I'm going to wire my charging cable back into it so I can, you know, quick charge it. So pretty easy. So here we go.
I also wanted to mention that Timeusb was the company I found that did make the biggest battery that I could fit in the spot. As I mentioned, 140 amp hours versus 100. And for a multi-day trip, this is crucial. So a big win from me.
Go. It's locked in and ready to go. So pretty easy. I'm not going to show footage of changing out the other battery. I mean, it's going to be the exact same way. I'll, you know, finish my install. I'll get them charged, and I've already filmed half of my test comparing nickel acid to the lithium phosphate. So I did a test on runtime. Even though these are a couple years old, they still hold a good charge. I'll talk about a few different things with that, but then once I get these installed, the next time I'm out on the water, and maybe multiple trips, I'm going to put these lithium phosphate batteries to the test, see how long they last, and do a comparison. So if you're curious about that, you know, give me a couple weeks and I'll be posting that video, you know, comparing the nickel acid to the lithium phosphate. And then even down the road, I plan on doing other follow-up videos on how I like these batteries specifically and how they're performing. So I hope this is helpful. I'm really excited to put these things to the test and feel like it's going to be a significant improvement in my troll times, and yeah, lose a little bit of weight, increase a little power. Can't beat that. Thanks for watching. Please hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, and we'll catch you later, and fish on.